from Andertons, and I'm joined today with Julian from Yamaha, who's one of the guitar kind of product specialist at Yamaha. And he's here to tell me about a new product that he's been designing with the very clever guys from Yamaha for a little while now. So, what have we got here?
This is the THR. THR basically is designed to be everything you need from a guitar amp or a bit of guitar hardware at home.
Cool. And you were just telling me THR stands for third because there's a story there, isn't there?
Yeah, our idea was that, you know, as part of a serious kind of guitar setup, your first amp is your big stack.
Yep.
Your second amp is maybe a little tube combo that you use at rehearsals or smaller club gigs. And this is your third amp for everything else. Most little guitar combos that people use at home for their practice amps are basically just small versions of stage amps. Stage amps are great when you whack a mic in front of it and stick it in a mix with a drummer and a vocalist and a bass player. But on their own, they don't sound like you kind of expect them to sound, if that makes sense. Whereas this sounds like the guitar sounds you hear on records.
When you I see what you mean.
When you're sitting there, it's that sort of final sound that you really want to hear. So.
Cool. Well, look, let's dive into some of the sounds. I haven't read a manual or anything like that, but straight away, if you've ever owned a guitar amplifier, you're going to be at home with this. So let's check out the clean sound.
The clean sound is like a kind of American, fairly clean, vintagey combo. So it's like 6L6s on the output stage, nothing too high gainy, but giving you just a real classic American kind of clean tone.
Cool. Cool. Well, you had some killer kind of Stevie Ray kind of sounds so if I maybe just take the gain up just a smidgen.
Yeah. And if we just wind the master up a little bit more, because what Stevie Ray would have had was he would have had his amp with everything fairly cranked.
Yeah.
So as we do that.
And that's really not that loud. I mean, you guys can probably even hear us sort of talking over the amp sounds, which you can never normally hear. So we'll move on now to the crunch sound, and basically all you're really going to hear is our kind of favourite sort of crunchy settings, or the favourite settings from each sound. You guys can dial in quite a number of effects here. Actually, you can dial in choruses, flanges, phasers, tremolos, delays and reverb, different types of reverb. Quite versatile. From the controls on the top here, they're like a lot of amps with effects built in, where you just kind of, you just increase how much of a certain effect that you want. You got a little tap tempo thing over the end here. Does that do modulation rates as well as delay rates, or is it
just does delay rates?
Okay.
There is an editing software that you can get for this. You can download it for free and edit everything really in depth using your computer. With that, you can edit all of the parameters for this effect. So all of the modulation stuff, all of that in depth
on Yamaha.com or something, is it?
Yeah, you can get to it through yamaha.com/THR.
Oh, there you go. So let's move on. This is the crunch sound, and you said this was based on a sort of AC30
it's like a British kind of EL84 low gain, that kind of sound.
Basically, these guys are never allowed to say words like Vox, Fender, Marshall, so I can say them, but they can't. It's a Vox AC30 circuit. So that was kind of like a gunned AC30. If we take it back to a more classic sort of 60s.
It's got that, especially on like when you play a big ringing kind of open chord, it's got that like harmonic content that you get from a cranked valve amp. It's just got that little bit of.
It's just amazing. Right, this is the lead tone, which I'm guessing is, well, actually, I don't even know. What lead tone might that amplifier be? Describe it and I'll tell them what brand you've copied.
This would be something like a single channel, old EL34 British amp.
Not Plexi or anything like that then?
Couldn't possibly say.
Let's see. Amazing. Right, the next one round here is Brit High. Everybody calls this Brit High, so I'm guessing it's a JCM 800, but I shan't ask you to comment. I'm so impressed. And lastly, modern.
Yes.
Might that be somewhere in California making amps that might boogie a bit?
It might be that kind of amp, which means there's a lot of gain on this.
A lot of gain. Let's check it out.
On this is the EQ is going to respond as you would expect. If you've used a boogie, you know how the effect, the EQ on that kind of amp would respond, and this will respond in the same way.
So what you're basically saying is that on all the Marshall settings, the EQ doesn't do anything.
Yes.
And on the boogie settings, it actually works.
Yeah, it does stuff, and it does stuff you don't expect it to do. Things happen, you go, I didn't mean that. But it means that actually it becomes a really intuitive thing for setting a sound, because a lot of people, guitarists have sort of become attuned to getting that sound. If someone puts you in front of a Marshall or a Fender or whatever, you go, oh, I know, that gives me this sound.
You're completely right, yeah. We've kind of covered quite a lot of the stuff about sort of what it can do from a guitar perspective. You guys will be happy to know that on the bigger one of the two, the THR10, there's also 5 memory locations. It comes preloaded with 5 sort of preset sounds, but you can design your own sound and hold these buttons down and just overwrite those. It's got a tuner built in. It's got a headphone output which you can play on. It's got an auxiliary input for you to run your iPod or whatever other sort of MP3 player you might have, or CD player or something. We're going to talk a little bit about USB connectivity as well. One of the things that amazed me was this is all battery powered, and Yamaha have somehow managed to get 8 hours out of just a regular pack of, is it AA or AAA?
Yeah, you use 8 AA batteries, will give you 7 or 8 hours of use, and it does genuinely work. I did a couple of days filming with these, and we would get basically almost all day from a pack of AA's.
You were saying that the smaller one of this, THR5, which we don't have for you today, but is exactly the same engine, if you like, to create the tones.
Yeah.
But what we lose on that is the box itself becomes a little smaller. So although the speakers are the same, because the box itself is smaller, it'll slightly change the dynamics of the sound and perhaps lose a little bass end, but not too much. We lose the memory presets.
Yep.
And the 3-band EQ on here is condensed into a single sort of tone control. Everything else, though, you still get on the smaller one. So if this looks a little too big for you, or perhaps a little bit above your budget, do go check out the THR5, because that's a really fantastic alternative to this. Julian has got this connected up to his laptop here. You don't need to have it connected to your laptop, so just in case you're sitting here looking at this in the background thinking, oh, I haven't got a computer or whatever, it's completely works standalone. So what can we do via USB on this?
Well, what you can do via USB is It will. The simplest thing it'll do is it'll just function as an audio out for your computer.
Okay.
So you just select this as your audio output in your system preferences,
Yeah.
and then all of your system sounds come through this, which is dead cool if you've got it just on your desk. I mean,
Yeah.
the way I have mine at home is that it sits sort of over there next to my monitor, and everything that comes out of so when I get a mail, it goes bong, and it comes through the THR.
Yeah.
So that's the very simplest way of using it, but it also functions as a recording interface. So a big thing that we saw that people want to do at home is that they want to do easy, simple, creative recording. So we have that with this. So you've got a very, very simple, intuitive interface.
Yeah.
And over USB 2, you can connect it to basically any recording software.
Yeah.
It comes with Cubase AI in the box. So you've got a nice high-end recording solution where it'll only record 128 audio tracks, which is just useless.
So that's ruled out Alan Parsons buying one of these, basically. But everyone else should be fine. So I hope you've enjoyed the demo that we've done here on this amazing new Yamaha THR product. Just to sum up, in case you forgotten what we said in the video, the key features of this is designed in conjunction with Yamaha's top kind of hi-fi and commercial audio bods, as well as their top pro audio teams and their guitar teams. So this is an amazing sounding small guitar sort of practice amp, studio monitor-y type, do a lot of things box. You've got USB interface, so you can record with it and edit via USB if you wanted to. You've got the amazing reamping option with the dry sound. And you've got the user memory locations in here. And you know what, one of the things that we didn't show you, but Julian showed me just before we started, all the time that you're not playing guitar through this, your wife or your girlfriend can use it as a radio. Because with my iPod just plugged in here, or the computer plugged in here, you're getting kind of like a top of the range Yamaha little portable playback device. It just sounds amazing. So let's get on to the $64 million question, or not $64 million as the case may be. How much are these going to be?
It's going to be $299 retail for the THR10, $199 for the THR5.
Wow. So that's $299 for this, and you guys know if you come to Andertons, we'll probably knock some money off there. So come to Andertons and check out our website and see how much it might cost you. But less than £300 for the big one, and less than $200, and again we'll probably knock some money off that too. Less than $199 for the small one of these. There's going to be a lot of these under Christmas trees and birthday presents and all sorts this year, aren't there?
That's a lot of stuff for a couple of £100.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff that when you get it into this package and you actually get to use it for what it was designed for, which is basically, you know, stick it on your desk, stick it on your coffee table, have it at home, suddenly you start thinking, how on earth did I manage without this? So it is an awful lot of stuff in there that it's going to make a lot of gear that you had seem like, why did I spend so much trouble doing that? No,
I love it. I'm almost certainly going to write to Father Christmas right now and ask him to send me one. That's kind of it. Hope you've enjoyed the demo. If you've got any questions about it, do email into Andertons or use the comments section below, and we'll definitely answer all your questions. They're shipping pretty much any day now, so come middle of October you should be able to buy these from Andertons. They'll be on our website, they'll be in our store. All that remains is to say thank you very much, Julian, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Showing everybody this brilliant new product, and we'll see you next time.